Second opinion, LG LFX31925ST/08 frosting/icing inside the bottom freezer. What would cause this? Also not feeling the suction on the refrigerator doors as in earlier years.
Depending on where the frost is forming, it could be due to many correctable conditions. Frost forming around the freezer door's gaskets indicates the door was not fully closed. Look for any packaging or items that might prevent the gaskets from sealing properly: food packages sticking out too far, a drawer that's not fully sealing, an ice container not locked down, or items left on top of the appliance. The freezer temperature may be set too low if the frost is light, snowy, and seems to be everywhere. If the set temperatures of the appliance are too low, there isn't a chance to remove the moisture from the air as the appliance cools. The moisture will turn to snow before the appliance starts the next cooling cycle. Make sure the freezer temperature is around 0 degrees Fahrenheit, -18 degrees Celsius, and the refrigerator is around 37 degrees Fahrenheit, 3 degrees Celsius. The freezer door might have been left open if the frost is everywhere and is hard and icy. At first, the frost will form closer to the door area but will eventually cover the entire interior. In most cases, correcting the issue that caused the frost buildup and allowing the freezer to go through a couple of defrost cycles will clear up the excessive frost, and the appliance will be back to normal. Frost building up solely on the back of the freezer section, where the evaporator coil is located, indicates an issue with the defrost cycle. Depending on the appliance, this could be either a defective heater, bimetal, defrost sensor, defrost timer, or control board. Further troubleshooting is needed to pinpoint what exactly is needed to resolve the issue. Sounds a lot like it coincides with your inquiry about door sealing of the refrigerator door.
Do you see the solid buildup of ice around the sensors on GE left side? Doesn't indicate they are bad.
You got a defrost problem. Either your sensors failed or the heaters failed and it's allowing ice to build up behind the panel. This will cause frosting, freezing of the panel, leaking out the bottom of the freezer, losing cooling in the freezer. That panel needs to come off and it needs to be diagnosed properly whether it's the heater or the sensor that has failed.
I sent a picture of the evaporator coils with the icing on the side. The coils are clean everywhere but for the ice buildup around the sensors. Here you go.
Frost is the presence of hot and cold air mixing. Ice is the presence of water freezing. You'll need to defrost and remove all the ice and potentially let it reaccumulate in order to pinpoint where it's coming from exactly. The pictures don't do it justice. You'll need a technician on site to determine exactly what's going on and what needs to be done to fix it. At this point, the technician needs to make sure evaporator drain is clear, the heater has continuity, that the bimetal or sensor is still in good shape. Evaporators icing over is a sign of a defrost problem. But your evaporator isn't iced over. Fact, you've got frost all the way at the front of the door, indicating warm air and cold air or combining and collecting on the food in the form of condensation, meaning you have an air leak, most likely from the door seal. Unless you've got ice on the bottom of the freezer preventing the door from closing, I think the ice in the back of the freezer and what little we see on the sides of the evaporator is the remnants and results of warm air and cold air combining in the freezer.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit JustAnswer.com/YTHI.